Wiley stops the wedding, the secret that changes everything. Port Charles woke to the kind of sunlight that poets write about, warm, clear, and hopeful. The Quatermain estate was buzzing with frantic energy as florists rushed across the driveway, carrying towers of white roses. Inside, the staff prepared champagne fountains, a string quartet rehearsed, and Monica Quatermain walked through the halls with a clipboard, triple-checking every detail. It was supposed to be a joyful day. A day of healing. A day when Willow Tate finally reclaimed a little piece of happiness after months, years, of heartbreak, loss, and unending crisis. A day when Drew Kane, survivor, father, friend, and man of second chances, would stand with her at the altar. The plan was simple. A small wedding. A few friends and family. Peace. But Port Charles never allows anything to remain simple. And weddings, especially GH weddings, are famous for interruption, explosion, or emotional destruction. Today was no exception. Hidden beneath the layers of calm and preparation lay a storm. A storm carried not by a villain, not by an enemy, not by fate, but by Wiley Corinthus, their own son. A boy with a truth he never should have known. A truth that would blow open the lives of everyone he loved. Upstairs, Willow stood at the mirror in a soft, elegant gown. Nothing extravagant, but beautiful in the gentle, earthy way that fit her perfectly. Her hair fell in loose curls, pinned with small white blossoms. She looked like peace. If only she felt it. Her heart thumped with nerves, not cold feet, but a whisper of something she couldn't shake. Something was wrong. She tried to ignore it. Chase had stopped by earlier to wish her well. Nina had sent a short but heartfelt message. Carly was downstairs managing the chaos. Michael, quiet, supportive Michael, promised he would take care of Wiley and make sure everything stayed calm. But that wasn't possible. Not today. Meanwhile, in a room across the hall, Drew tightened his tie for the 5th time. He wasn't afraid of marriage. He wasn't even afraid of blending their complicated families. He was afraid of something else entirely, a nagging feeling that Willow wasn't ready. That she was still fractured. That in some corner of her heart, she was marrying him because it felt safe, not because it felt right. But Drew had always been the one to push forward anyway. It was his curse, and his gift. He tried to fix things even when they weren't broken the right way. He didn't know that he was about to witness the greatest break of all. Or maybe, the right one. The night before the wedding, Wiley couldn't sleep. He'd wandered downstairs for a glass of water, clutching his stuffed dinosaur, T-Rex Rexy. Voices drifted from the kitchen. He recognized them instantly. Michael and Carly. His guardians. His protectors. The two people he trusted more than anything. He knew he shouldn't listen. But kids hear what adults think they hide. She still doesn't know, Michael said, pacing. She can't know, not today, Carly replied, voice sharp with determination. Wiley's ears perked. Know what? It'll destroy her, Michael whispered. And Drew. And everything they built. We made a choice, Carly said. We protect Willow. No matter what. Wiley clutched Rexy to his chest. What were they hiding? My mom deserves the truth, Michael said finally. But Wiley deserves stability too. If the truth comes out, none of us know how Drew will react. Wiley felt his stomach twist. The truth? About him? He didn't understand everything, but he understood enough. Carly and Michael were keeping a secret. A secret about his family. A secret about his parents. And secrets always hurt. Always. That night, Wiley cried into his pillow, wishing adults weren't so complicated. Wishing families weren't puzzles missing pieces. Wishing his mom didn't have to marry someone who made his tummy twist with confusion. He didn't dislike Drew. He liked Drew. But loving someone and being comfortable with someone were two different things, and Wiley sensed something broken beneath the surface. By morning, Wiley had made a decision that no child should ever have to make. He would tell the truth. Whatever it was. However he understood it. Even if it hurt. By early afternoon, guests filled the Quatermain garden. Familiar faces took their seats. Sonny, trying to be supportive for Willow, though his presence made the air tense. Brooklyn, clutching Chase's hand. Nina, standing alone, wondering if she even deserved to be here today. Alexis, quietly observing Michael from afar. Sam, protective, watching Drew, sensing something she couldn't name. Even Ava Jerome showed up, because in Port Charles, nobody misses a wedding. Especially one that might explode. But the most important guest, the one who would change everything, was upstairs with his nanny, tugging on a little dress shirt and trying to rehearse the words he'd practiced in the mirror. "Mommy, don't marry Drew. I know the truth." The music swelled. Drew stood at the altar. Willow walked slowly down the aisle, bouquet trembling in her hand. Her smile was soft but hesitant. She tried to focus on Drew's eyes instead of the strange heaviness inside her chest. Michael sat in the front row with Wiley beside him. Michael felt fine. Wiley did not. He stared straight at Willow, tears filling his eyes, his little hands trembling. He couldn't do it. He couldn't let her walk into something without knowing. He tugged Michael's sleeve. Twice. 3 times. Michael shushed him gently, not understanding the urgency. And that was the moment Wiley realized something painful. No one was going to help him. He had to stand up on his own. Willow reached the altar. The officiant spoke the opening words. Everything was moving too fast. Too wrong. Too silent. Then, a small voice broke through the garden. A small pair of feet ran up the aisle. A small boy stood between Willow and Drew, chest rising and falling with panic. "Stop the wedding." Every guest froze. Willow gasped. Drew blinked. Michael shot up from his chair. "Wiley, buddy, come here," Michael whispered urgently, reaching out. But Wiley shook his head violently, tears streaming down his face. "No. Mommy can't marry Drew. Not today. Not ever." A collective gasp rippled through the crowd. Willow knelt, gripping Wiley's shoulders. "Sweetheart, what's wrong? You can tell me." Wiley sobbed so hard he hiccuped. "Because I know the secret Daddy and Grandma Carly said. The one you're not supposed to know." Michael felt his soul drop through the earth. Carly closed her eyes in horror. Drew's jaw tightened. The garden went dead silent. "What secret?" Willow whispered. Wiley swallowed, voice shaking. "The secret that Drew isn't supposed to be with you, because. He looked straight at Drew. "Because you're not really my dad." Shock. Confusion. Pain. The guests held their breath. Drew stared blankly, unable to process the words. Willow felt the ground sway. "But sweetheart," Willow whispered, "Drew is your stepfather. We talked about." "No!" Wiley cried. "That's not the secret." "The secret is." He choked on the words. "That Michael said they have to hide the truth because it will ruin everything. The truth about who my real father is." A collective gasp. Michael's face turned white. Carly's heart stopped. Willow collapsed to her knees. Drew felt as if the world had punched him in the chest. And Port Charles did what it always does. It shattered. Michael rushed forward. "Wiley, don't do this, buddy. Not here." But Willow pulled Wiley closer protectively. "No. If he's scared enough to speak up at my wedding, we listen." Drew stepped forward slowly. "Michael," he said, voice dangerously calm. "Is there something you want to say?" Michael shook his head, eyes pleading. "It's complicated, Drew. It's not what." "Then I'll say it." Wiley shouted. He looked at Willow with innocent devastation. "You're supposed to know the truth about my real daddy. But Grandma Carly said you can't. Because it will hurt you too much. Because it will hurt Drew too." Willow felt a sudden dizziness. "What truth?" she whispered. Michael's shoulders sagged. He had no escape. "The truth," Wiley said softly, "about who my father is." And then Wiley spoke words he barely understood, but words that detonated like a bomb. "My real father is Shiloh." The crowd erupted in gasps. Nina covered her mouth. Brooke Lynn trembled. Sam shook her head in disbelief. Sonny muttered a curse under his breath. Willow's entire body went still. No breath. No heartbeat. No sound. Just terror. Pure, familiar terror. "Wiley," Willow whispered, voice cracking. "Who told you that?" "You did," Wiley whispered. "In the kitchen one night. You thought I was asleep. You said you didn't want me to ever know. And Michael said he'd protect me. And Grandma Carly said the same." Willow realized with horror that she had said those words once, quietly, tearfully, not realizing her son was barely awake and listening. Silence crushed the garden. Drew felt the sting first, deep, sharp, humiliating. He wasn't Wiley's father. Not biologically. Not legally. Not emotionally anymore. He was just outside. But Willow wasn't thinking about Drew. She was thinking about Shiloh. The name she never wanted spoken again. Her hands shook violently. Then she whispered something barely audible. This wedding is over. The guests were ushered away. The garden emptied. Only 4 people remained. Willow, Drew, Michael, Wiley. Carly hovered nearby, but Willow's glare kept her several feet back. Willow knelt before Wiley. You didn't do anything wrong, she whispered. You were brave. You were honest. I love you. Wiley sniffled and hugged her tight. Then Willow stood and faced Michael. You knew, she said. You knew he'd heard. You knew he was confused. And you didn't tell me. Michael swallowed. I was trying to protect you. No, Willow whispered. You were trying to control the damage. Drew stepped forward. Michael, he said coldly, you lied to me. Again. It wasn't my secret to tell, Michael shot back. But it affected me. Drew said, voice rising. It affected the family we were building, the trust we needed. Drew, Willow whispered. He looked at her. And for the first time, he saw the truth. There had always been someone between them. A shadow. A memory. A trauma. And no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't outrun it. You're still living in the past, Drew said quietly. Still frozen in things that broke you. And I wanted to help. I wanted to fix it. But maybe. His voice cracked. Maybe you were never ready. Willow shook her head. I love you, Drew. I do. But I can't marry you. Not today. Not like this. Not with this pain tearing through my son. Drew's face fell, but he didn't argue. He finally understood. And that hurt more than anything. As Willow gathered Wiley in her arms to leave, he tugged her sleeve again. There's more, he whispered. Willow froze. More, she echoed. Wiley nodded softly. I heard Uncle Sonny talking to Grandma Nina. Willow stiffened. What did they say? Wiley's voice dropped to a trembling whisper. They said that Shiloh might not be my real father after all. Willow blinked. What? Wiley continued. They said a test might have been wrong. And that someone else, someone in Port Charles, might be my real daddy. Willow felt her knees buckle. Michael's face went pale. Drew looked confused and angry. Carly whispered, Oh God. Wiley looked up with wide, terrified eyes. I didn't want to ruin the wedding. I just wanted to tell the truth. And then, I don't know who my real daddy is. The wedding may have ended, but a new, explosive mystery had begun. Who was Wiley's real father? Was it Shiloh? Was it someone else? Was the original test tampered with? Was someone in Port Charles hiding a deeper truth? Willow's world spun. Drew's heart cracked. Michael's guilt consumed him. Carly silently cursed every terrible choice that led to this moment. And Wiley, the brave, innocent little boy who only wanted honesty, had broken open the truth in the most explosive way possible. Night fell. The Quartermain estate sat in ruins of what was meant to be a beautiful day. Willow tucked Wiley into bed, kissed his forehead, and whispered, You did the right thing. Then she stepped into the hallway, where Drew waited, suitcase in hand. You're leaving, she whispered. For now, he said softly. Until you find the truth. Until you find yourself. Willow's eyes filled with tears. Drew, He shook his head gently. No more apologies. No more almost healing. You deserve peace, Willow. And Wiley deserves clarity. I'll be here, but not like before. He walked away. Willow slid down the wall, sobbing. Michael stepped forward, guilt etched across his face. I'll fix this, he promised. Willow shook her head. No. This time, you can't. She closed her eyes. Somewhere in Port Charles, the truth waited. A truth about Wiley's real father. A truth that would shake the city. A truth that would destroy the right family, or rebuild the wrong one. But one thing was certain.